If you're planning on becoming the next chosen one, I suggest you study this video quite closely, as we're going to teach you all about the act the fool and clowner moves in NBA ballers. Act the fool moves are one of the best offensive weapons that you've got in NBA ballers. These moves are difficult to counter and always give you an offensive advantage. There are 3 different kinds of act the fool moves: the juke, the alley-oop, and the dunk. All 3 of them require you to press and hold the left trigger or the act the fool button and then press one of the face buttons. To start, we're going to talk about the act the fool juke. To perform an act the fool juke move, you're first going to want to square yourself up against the D and move your player in close. Once you're about 2 to 3 feet away from your opponent, press and hold the left trigger and then press X. If you're positioned correctly, your character will pull off an act the fool juke move. If you weren't positioned correctly, your character will play a standard stutter step animation. The act the fool jukes are a great way to get in front of your opponent with a clear lane to the basket. Okay, so check it out. Act the fool alley-oops. To pull off an act the fool, first you're going to want to make sure that you're inside the 3-point line. Once you're inside, you're going to want to square yourself up against the defense and get in close, similar to the distance and positioning of an act the fool juke. Once you're in position, press and hold the left trigger, and then press Y. If you've met all of the correct conditions, your player will grab his opponent and perform an act the fool lob pass. While the ball is airborne, move your player under the hoop, and he'll automatically jump in and jam it. Cool, right? It's a risky move, but man, it's cool looking. Okay, the third type of act the fool is what we call the stunt dunk. These over-the-top dunks involve your player actually using the opposition as a springboard for the jam. To do a stunt dunk, you're going to want to position yourself close to your opponent, just like the act the fool juke or alley-oop, and inside the paint. Once you're in the correct position, press and hold left trigger and then press shoot. If you've timed it correctly, well, you get the picture. Now that we've covered the basics of the act the fool system, here are some things you're going to want to remember. Each NBA player has a different set of act the fool moves that he can pull off, so make sure you experiment with different characters to find which ones you like the best. Now, if you ever find yourself being made to fool by an offensive player, don't forget that you can always counter the move. At the start of each act the fool, there is a very small window of time where you can press the A button to counter the move. It takes great timing and anticipation to break an act the fool move, but if you manage to counter the move, you'll see the words "counter" appear on screen along with an animation of your player emerging out of the act the fool with the rock. Remember, the act the fool feature is all about timing and controller skills. Believe me, with a little practice, you'll be making the opposition act the fool in no time. Got it? Good. Okay, let's talk about the clowner moves. These moves bounce the rock off of your opponent's dome in one way or another. There are 2 different kinds of clowner moves, the bounce off the head and the off the head to alley-oop move. Both of these moves require you to press and hold the right trigger and then press one of the face buttons. To bounce it off of your opponent's head and back to yourself, first make sure that you've got a little distance between yourself and your opponent. Then you're going to press and hold the right trigger and then press X. If the move worked, your character will bounce it off of his opponent's head and back into his hand. If your positioning was off, he'll end up doing a fake off the head move and then return back to dribbling. The second type of clowner move is the off the hizzle to oop. To pull off this move, you need to be inside the 3-point line and have some distance between yourself and the opposition. Once you're a few feet away from your opponent, press and hold the right trigger and then hit Y. Ha! Check that out, just like a lob pass. Move your player underneath the ball as it travels towards the basket. If you've timed it right, he'll automatically jump up and slam it. Just like the act the fool moves, the clowner moves can be countered by the defense. If you suspect someone is trying to clown you by bouncing the ball off your head, quickly tap the A button to counter it. Your player will end up countering the move and stealing the ball. Got it? Good, my man. You're well on your way to becoming the next chosen one.